I'm not sure how I want to start this, but but I'm starting it. So here it is. This is how I'm starting it. On the topic of guilt and shame, we as humans, we don't have a lot of practice discerning the difference between the icky feeling of being inauthentic to ourselves and the icky feeling created by an internalized story of emotional violence against ourselves, actually, which is the creation of guilt and blame and shame. It all feels like regret. How do we tell the difference? When we took action, we acted, we did something, we behaved in a way, we said something, and then after the fact, there is a feeling. Well, first of all, in that moment, how did it feel? In the moment you took action, were you confident in the taking of that action? Did it feel good in that moment to express that, to do that, or not do that, whatever it was? Was there a question? Because that was aligned in the moment. If you didn't feel icky in the moment of doing it, of this doesn't feel good to me, but I'm doing it anyway, or I want to do this, but I'm afraid to, so I'm not going to, and that doesn't feel good. That was you. That was you. Own that was you. You did something that you wanted to do. It's easy after the fact, especially if someone says, that hurt me. You hurt me by that. What you did was bad, and you should feel bad because you are wrong to have done that. But what you did was based on desire. You didn't do anything that hurt that person. You didn't. This is where it becomes really powerful and really challenging, but really important to take ownership and responsibility of our actions based upon desire. If you did a thing because you wanted to do it, you were aligned, you were inspired in that action, and whatever somebody says, you didn't cause them harm. We do not have the power to harm. There is no harm. And that means acknowledging the same is true for everybody else. So everything that you have perceived as someone having done to you, which inflicted harm upon you, that means you got to look at that and say, was there really harm here? Because the truth is, my being is safe and secure and stable and provided for. There is no harm that can befall me. Was this person just acting on desire? Even unconsciously, even if there was some other intent to it, even if it wasn't what appeared to be a pure desire. I am the one who perceived this as wrong. I have condemned another for their behavior. And actually, that's what I'm feeling. When I feel the pain and the guilt of someone telling me you hurt me and this is wrong, what I'm really hearkening back to within myself is the time that I did that, all of the times that I did that to other people, that I told them they were wrong, that they had hurt me, that they were bad and should feel bad about themselves. That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling the judgment that I cast upon another in perceiving sin in them, perceiving them as having trespassed against me. When the reality, the truth is, and the reason that feels so bad is there was no sin, there was no trespass. There could not be. My energy, myself, is secure and safe and stable and provided for and is always well. I have access to the infinite abundance of all of the universe. Everything I need, everything I ask is given to me. No one can stop that. No one has the power to prevent that, to change that in any form or fashion. They cannot take from me. It's evidence of this lackful kind of mindset. If someone is capable of harming me, that means they're capable of taking something from me, diminishing me in some way, but that's not possible. That isn't possible. That's not the way that it works. I cannot be diminished. I cannot be taken from. That which I am is eternal and eternally well and secure. So I have to acknowledge if I am in the situation where someone is casting the specter of shame upon me, or I'm doing it within myself because I've internalized that voice, because somebody at some point said, that was bad, you are bad, you should feel bad, you hurt me. And I took that and I made that a part of my internal experience. So now I carry that voice around with me everywhere from that very first time. And I remember that, and I shame myself for doing things that I want to do. And that's how society has become so easily manipulated, because we've all been tricked and trapped into creating this continuous and very strong internal narrative, carrying this voice that shames us out of desire so that we fall in line. And it shames us by saying, you're bad, you're dangerous, you're a problem, you're hurting people with what you want. That's not possible. I know this sounds crazy, that's okay. It's the way that it is. And yes, the reason this is so challenging to accept is because it means accepting that the things that we have felt were harmful to us were actually not. And that's a big step. That's a big step for most humans. But this is where we're at. This is where we're at in the evolution of our species and of consciousness, is in understanding, is in freeing, liberating our perception, and recognizing that there is no harm, there is no sin. Whatever somebody has done that looked like it was to you and looked like it harmed you, it didn't. That just made you forget. It just made you forget. You just forgot your power in that moment. That's it. You just forgot how powerful and secure and safe and stable you are. You just forgot. You fell back into the old lack mindset that we've been practicing for generation upon generation, that said there's a finite pie, not infinite, a finite pie of whatever it is, time, money, love, resources. And because it's finite, your taking is my losing. Your victory, your claiming what pleases you, what you want, your taking what is yours, is somehow taking from what is mine. That's not the way that it works. We're here to perceive past that. We're here to see it differently now. We're here to see the truth. That there is no harm. Everything is infinite and free. You can't take from somebody else. You can only take what's yours. What's yours is given. It was created for you. It doesn't stop anybody else from receiving their portion, which is created for them. Again, we are not working with finite components here. We're talking about unlimited. It's hard for the mind to grasp. The mind doesn't get it, but it's the truth. It's the reality of what is. Everything is infinite and free. And so if you feel bad for having followed a desire, because there's that voice in your head that says you took something from somebody, you hurt somebody, you took advantage of them, you took from them, whatever it was, recognize that that is a lack mindset. That's all that is. You can't take from somebody. You can't hurt them. And by owning that, you're empowering them. By owning your desire and saying, I followed my desire, it looks like what it looks like. The truth is, there has been no trespass here. There has been no wrong. And in recognizing this, I recognize that there has been and cannot be any trespass or wrong committed against me. It's not possible. And so I am absolving all that in my past I have condemned for this. I am seeing the error of my perception in that I am seeing there was no perpetration. You are not perpetrator. And when I realize you are not a perpetrator, I realize I am not a victim. There is no such thing. Both of those labels are dropped simultaneously. When I realize you did nothing to me, then nothing has happened to me. By no longer condemning you, I am no longer condemning myself, calling myself the sufferer of this, because nothing has gone wrong here. And in the same stroke, all are absolved. I realize that you cannot trespass against me, and I cannot trespass against you. It's not possible. So we're all just following our desire. We are all taken care of. We are all provided for abundantly and perfectly by the infinite universe. And that's it. That's it. There's no contradiction here. There's nobody stepping on anybody's toes. We just follow our desire. We do what we want. We own it. We own it. We own up to it. There are lots of things that I've done that I felt guilty for. And the reality is, I felt guilty because I felt like a bad person. Like I did something, I hurt somebody. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. The truth is I did them because I wanted to. I did those things because I wanted to. Because my soul said, yeah, go for it. And because my soul knew this doesn't hurt anybody. Not actually. Not really. We're stepping into a radical new level of perception of reality here. To understand that no wrong has ever been committed. That nothing wrong can even happen. It's not possible. We cannot harm one another. But we have to realize that within ourselves. By taking ownership of desire and the action that we take on desire. And saying, yeah, I did that. I did that because I wanted to. And you can tell me whatever you want to tell me, that it hurt you, that it put you in dire straits, that it did whatever it did. I'm going to stand here and know that it didn't. And at the same time, I'm going to know nobody is capable of doing that to me. If somebody goes, oh my God, I hurt you, I'm sorry, I'm going to say, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. You could stab me in the back and you wouldn't hurt me. Seriously. I wouldn't be harmed by that. This is just what it is. This is where everybody gets really upset. And it's perfectly understandable. This is where Abraham Hicks has caught so much flack. So much flack. And people just lose it. They follow it up to a certain point and then they go, whoa, no, that's not okay. I'm not okay with that. This is where we're at. This is where we're at. Understanding. There is no harm. We cannot harm one another. We are that stable. We are that secure. We're that assured and worthy and well and abundantly provided for. So own your desire. Act on it. And then recognize if there's buyer's remorse, recognize what that means. It's just an old lack mindset that has crept in after the fact. You acted on something you wanted to do. Take that ownership and recognize you didn't hurt anybody. You can't. And at the same time, absolve everyone else of that same responsibility, saying anything that's been done to you that looked like it hurt you, it didn't actually. You just forgot. You were just in a state of disempowerment and diminishment, and so it felt like it did. It felt like it did, because that's how the mind, that's how ego perceives things. And only ego is capable of perceiving hurt and wounding and threat, because only ego can be diminished. The soul is untouchable. The soul is untouchable. That which you are is untouchable. Unalterable, unable to be diminished, can't scratch it, can't touch it. It's well and worthy and secure always, no matter what, point blank, period. And we just forgot. When we perceive that we have been harmed, we just forget that. And that's okay too. That's okay too. It is. But it's time to remember. It's time to remember how actually fucking powerful and worthy and secure and well all of us are. And when you own that for yourself, not only are you absolving other people of their responsibility and no longer pushing them into that diminished state, you're challenging them to step into that same place. That place of being untouchable. No matter what you do to me, you can't touch me. I know that. I know that. So do whatever you do. Do what you want to do. You can't scratch this. And I can't touch you. We are safe and well. That's it. I love you.